So good afternoon. I had a long and constructive meeting with Mr. Akinci, as I also had earlier with Mr. Anastasiades today, of course both in preparations of tomorrow leaders meeting. All leaders meetings are important, of course, so I tend to say that next meeting is crucial. But I want to underline that what is particularly important now is to deal with recent developments so that we can try to rebuild some of the trust that has been lost between the communities, because no matter how creative and dedicated the leaders themselves are to try to overcome outstanding issues, we need to have the resonance of the two communities, that they have to believe in each other, because if Cyprus is going to come together again, it has to be the free will of people who think that living together is better than to living apart. And right now the climate is not optimal. I think we all see that. And there is a role of the leaders, and there is a role of broader societal actors to try to deal with this issue, because we have come so far. We are in the end game. The Conference of Cyprus is on. Every issue is on the table, and creative work is being done. Both some of what is well known and also things that eventually will be known, hopefully. But it has to happen on a resonance base of intercommunal trust, and frankly that has been better than it is right now. So this is something that came up, of course, in the conversations with both leaders, and even more importantly than my meeting with the leaders is their joint meeting tomorrow, where I hope that they can clear the air on some recent issues, but also find a common way to move forward with dedication, because the window of opportunity that we've been speaking about is there, it's still open. But I reiterate, almost on the danger of becoming boring and repetitive, that it will not remain open very much longer, and we have to use what we have achieved as a platform to go the final mile. But I also want to say that it's not the first time that we have some noise in this process, and that we've overcome it before, and we overcome it because there is a genuine will at the highest level to try to solve this issue. There is a stated and sustained commitment to seek solutions, not to seek problems, and they've proven that before. And statesmanship is not about looking for obstacles, it's about looking for solutions, and even at times of turning setbacks into new opportunities. And this is what I'm encouraging both leaders to do now, and also, of course, all other international players that are involved, and particularly the guarantors, but also other interested players, really need to see this their role now in helping to provide the necessary platforms for moving to a final settlement, and then to announce referendum.
So there are always some obstacles, but this can called as a crisis, I think. And how will you overcome this? Because this decision made the Turkish Cypriots very sad, and especially the Anastasiades idea is reminding the Turkish people the bad times in the history. So how will you overcome all these trust issues?
Well, as I said, this is now something that the leaders should discuss tomorrow, and they will discuss, of course, tomorrow. I take these issues very seriously, but I will refrain from making sort of specific statements on specific developments now, because I think it is extremely important that in the leader-led process that there is a direct dialogue tomorrow between the leaders on this particular set of issues. But I reiterate, they have a role. They have the primary role, but there is also a role for many others in trying to make sure that you build intercommunal trust rather than to break down intercommunal trust.
So, but did you see any intent on the Turkish Cypriot side to overcome this decision or change the decision in the parliament?
So I will leave. I mean, that's a good question, and I'm the wrong addressee, because I want to see what happens tomorrow. I think that's the most correct thing of me to say. But as you can imagine, that has been on the agenda.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.